was just after midnight when I pulled into the 24-hour gas station on the edge of town. The kind of place that always felt half abandoned even when the lights were on. Only one pump worked properly, and the flickering fluorescent tubes above hummed like a dying insect. I had been driving back from visiting a friend, a 2-hour trip through mostly empty highways, and my car's fuel gauge was buried in red. So I had no choice but to stop. The lot was empty except for a single truck parked far back near the dumpsters, its windows black, no movement inside. I got out quickly, swiping my card and watching the numbers climb as the smell of gasoline filled the cold air. But as I leaned against the car waiting, I felt it, that prickling sensation at the back of my neck. The feeling of being watched. At first I thought it was just nerves. Highway driving always left me tense. But then I glanced toward the station's glass doors and saw him. A man standing inside, pressed close to the window. His face partially hidden by the reflection of the buzzing lights, but his eyes locked directly on mine. He wasn't browsing snacks or paying for anything. He was just standing there, staring at me like he had been waiting. My stomach tightened, but I forced myself to look away, telling myself it was nothing, maybe just some drunk hanging around. Still, I felt uneasy as I finished fueling, and when I turned back toward the station to pay, he was gone, the window empty except for my own reflection. I considered just leaving, but the pump hadn't taken my card. I still had to go inside. So I pushed open the heavy glass door and stepped into the stale air that smelled of burnt coffee and cleaning chemicals. The store was silent except for the buzz of the coolers. All's empty, and the clerk nowhere in sight. The only sound was the faint creak of the bathroom, doors swinging shut at the back. I called out a quick hello, no answer, then walked toward the counter, my footsteps echoing too loudly. And then I froze, because behind the counter, tucked half out of sight, was a single boot, the kind someone was still wearing. I realized the clerk must have been sitting or lying down behind it. And for a second, I almost called to ask if they were okay. But something stopped me, something in the way the boot didn't move, didn't shift, like whoever it belonged to wasn't conscious, or worse. I swallowed hard, backing up slowly. Then I heard it, the bathroom door creaking again, and footsteps. Slow, deliberate, coming closer. My mind screamed at me to leave, and without another thought, I turned and hurried back outside, forcing myself not to run, just moving quickly, my keys trembling in my hand as I fumbled with the lock. And then the glass door behind me swung open. I didn't look back. I just dove into the car, started the engine, and sped off the lot, my heart hammering so hard I could barely breathe. Headlights cut across my rearview mirror as I hit the road, a pair of them, pulling out from the station just seconds after me, a dark sedan following at a steady distance. I told myself it was a coincidence, someone else leaving at the same time. But the longer I drove, the more wrong it felt. Every turn I made, the sedan made, every lane I switched into, it followed smoothly, matching my movements with eerie precision. The highway was nearly empty, no witnesses, just me, my car, and whoever was behind me. Sweat gathered on my palms as I tightened my grip on the wheel, testing them by taking an early exit into a back road, my headlights bouncing off the trees that lined the narrow lane. And sure enough, their lights appeared moments later, chasing me into the dark. My mind raced through options. Should I head to the police station? Was it even open this late? Should I call someone? But when I grabbed my phone from the seat, there was no signal, just the empty bars mocking me. The sedan crept closer until I could almost make out the outline of the driver. But the windshield was too dark, tinted maybe. I pressed harder on the gas, my little car whining as the engine strained, curves whipping past, my tires squealing dangerously. Still the sedan kept pace, never overtaking, never falling behind, like they wanted me to know I couldn't shake them. The road stretched on forever, and then I saw it, up ahead, a small convenience store with lights still on. A miracle in the middle of nowhere. I slammed my turn signal and pulled in, skidding to a stop near the entrance, heart pounding as I watched in the mirror. The sedan slowed, idled at the edge of the lot for a moment, then flicked off its headlights and rolled past, disappearing into the night. I sat there trembling, unable to move, and after a long moment, I forced myself inside the store, a tired-looking man behind the counter blinking at me as I stumbled in. He asked if I was all right. I almost told him everything, but the words wouldn't come out. What could I even say? That someone followed me for miles just to scare me. That maybe something worse would have happened if I hadn't found this place. Instead, I just nodded, bought a bottle of water with shaking hands, and sat in my car until sunrise, watching every car that passed, waiting for those headlights to return. They never did, but the fear never left either, because even now, weeks later, every time I drive home at night, I find myself staring into the rearview mirror, half expecting to see those same headlights. Waiting, patient, steady, never letting me go, and I know deep down, if they ever decide to find me again, I won't be so lucky.